Are you guys there? Okay, let's start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope all of you are doing well. Today, we're going to discuss the potential bull market, if that's what we're going to get. Because recently, if you have been following my videos, I have been talking about the bear market just because, I am a simple man. And I see things in a very simple way without making things complicated. I see it through supply and demand. And if there isn't enough demand in the market, we cannot actually expect the market to go up. The same way, if the market reaches a level that I think it is overbought, we can call that a top or a supply level, and that's where you see it coming back down. Now, we have recently broken this potential trend line on Bitcoin, but there is a level of support and there is a level of demand, which is still at $94,000. But that is not what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss if there is going to be an alt season and what are the reasons for that and how can we expect that. So, if you remember, I have previously talked about the debt of US dollar. And what do I mean by that is if you see, since the gold standard was removed from US dollar, it just kept going down in value and it has lost 99% of its value and it will keep on losing more since they keep printing and unfortunately they cannot avoid. And the main thing that recently happened was that the US government got shut down because they couldn't actually afford it. So that's not going to be like that forever. And they're going to start at some point, and that's what we need. And if you see, the market has already started uh, reacting to it. And imagine that we did have a dump in Bitcoin, which this rally occurred on Dixie, which is US dollar against all the other currencies. Now, in the debt of US dollar video, I talked about this support that was lost on US dollar. And if you have a bigger view, you can see that we are heading toward the lower levels on US dollar. And Bitcoin is actually against this. It is not inflationary, it is actually deflationary. And whenever this thing drops and they keep printing money, Bitcoin do go up. And if Bitcoin goes up, it will pull everything uh, behind it. So another reason is when Bitcoin becomes overbought, people flip it to altcoins so they can benefit from that. And we can see that clearly in Bitcoin dominance. Now, Bitcoin dominance has broken this trend line, that is for sure, and it has retested, which took a lot of altcoins to their previous depths uh, within one day, and they recovered because it was a very, very great manipulation. Now, just because that wick needed to be filled, we saw this dump again, which I was expecting it, and I did tell you guys that it will go down there and we will buy it there, and that's what we did. And Alhamdulillah, the whole month of October we stayed profitable, and I have already shared that with you guys. You can see it everywhere if you're following us. Now, this is a very good level to look at if we are seeing and expecting a bull market, but Bitcoin really needs to climb above 107 to $112,000. Then for a true alt season, at least for now, if we want to see not an alt season, a good altcoin rally, uh, it's where Ethereum reclaims this level that it just recently broke. Now we expected it to fully dip here, which it hasn't. Now it shows you a lot of greater demand. So we came and bought it at 3,200 and even 3,177. Now you can see that we also had to sell it because we took other altcoins and they performed very well. And you can see so far Ethereum did nothing. Now we want Ethereum to actually climb above this level and break it. Then we can load a little bit up again here if we wanted that. We will see by then. So this will actually confirm that for a short period of time we can see Ethereum climbing back toward 3,900 to $4,000 level, which that's what we want. It should at least go above this zone that I have here, which because this was a very important level and it was broken. Now there is a level of resistance here that you should be looking into, because if it gets rejected from here, it would mean the same thing. Then it will try to come back down. We will see, inshallah, in the upcoming week what will truly happen. Now, the next one is this chart, ETHBTC. So you can see that these are all my previous analysis and it has done already what we expected it. Now, what we want is that this line should be broken and we should go above 0.037. Then altcoins will run, but not all of them. Obviously, we will identify which ones will go, and I might tell you some that will perform well in the market and how you can also identify them yourself. So this is another reason that we saw a very good dump back in the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So why is this important for us? It's because when an altcoin other than Bitcoin, it could be any coin, be it Ethereum or Solana, they become overvalued, like going above $5,000 for Ethereum, which is break off this all-time high, would trigger altcoins because people that already made money from this run of Ethereum, they will flip it either in Ethereum tokens or other altcoins to get the ride from those and make more money with those. That's what we have been seeing, but that's the thing. Not everything is going to go. For example, the layer 2 tokens, I still don't expect those to perform very well even in this cycle because they are not as useful in my opinion. Coins like Matic, ARB, Optimism, but there are some layer 2s that should perform and will perform, like Mantle. Take a look at this one, for example. This should go. This will perform and it is at a very good level. If that's what you want, you can get this, but I'm not going to get it, at least for now. So this is one of the layer 2s that should perform. Dogecoin will perform, but we again need to go above 20 cents. Then for it to really go parabolic, we need it to go above 30 cents. then you can expect larger, bigger moves above this. So that's another one. Um, so what I am talking is the long term, and the potential for that is once the US government starts back spending, we will see these going up. And just bear with me, then you're going to notice that. And another reason for Doge coin's performances, you can see that it's currently sitting at a level of support against Bitcoin, and right now it is very strong against Bitcoin too. So we can expect that for the long term to perform, but for it to really go parabolic, it needs to again break a trend line, which in this case we should first see this trend line that is being broken, but the other one is this one that you will need to see and have your eyes on. Okay, I talked Bitcoin dominance, ETHBTC chart, and what could go wrong. I have already talked about that. So this is purely about how you can position yourself if we are going to get a, a bull market. Now for Bitcoin, again, coming back to this chart, so you see that it is trying to go up, and we do expect it this time to break $104,000 and move to this level that it just recently broke, and it was staying above it for a very long time. Now this is a very, very important level. We want to go above it. Then maybe 112,000 will also become irrelevant by then, depending on how good the breakout is. And if this level is reclaimed, we should see next level at 116,000, then all-time highs. So this is also one of the probabilities on how you can position yourself on Bitcoin. Now, when alt season happens, you should know that it happens at the times that people expect it less. When is that? So mostly, if we go, for example, see this others chart, let me show you a longer view of what I think. So in 2020, what happened when this went up was at that time, there were very few coins, like around 2000 coins, and there was a lot of money, and not too many people knew about crypto, and there weren't actually a lot of coins, so there were fewer options. When there are fewer options, it this means to you that crypto at that time was as scarce, but crypto in general now has become something that every day there is a new coin, and every time it is triggered, uh, these dumps are triggered because of the futures traders as well as the gamblers. You can see that after the pump.fun came, everybody can now launch a coin. So that takes money out of the ones that are actually good. Solana, Ethereum, so many other coins like Tau, for example, is a very good coin, but the reason it's not performing is because not enough liquidity is there. Now, this dump that recently happened, which was the top for Bitcoin, look at all this time since all these 4 or 5 years, like this was the beginning of it in 2020 when we had this rally for altcoins. Now, since then, it's just trending down, and the reason I told you one is that there are too many coins, and not all of them are going to perform. And we did give a lot of the good ones in the community for our premium members that they actually study and they work very, very hard. So they are doing very well, Alhamdulillah. So we had very good performance lately. And if you want to be part of our community, the links will be down. Our community is free. There is a free course for you as well inside wap.com/halal portfolio. Then if you like it, try joining premium and actually gaining benefit of that. Can you please mute your mic? Thank you. Okay, so this recent dump took us back to the levels that others was in 2020. Now, this flush shows me that a lot of futures traders and gamblers are out of the market. And this is where people least expect the bull market to happen. Now, another indicator is Google Trends, because people aren't searching much about cryptocurrencies anymore. And that should tell you, let's see, worldwide, why it is not showing me the graph cryptocurrency. Look at where we are in the past 12 months. Right at the depth where it was at July, we are right there. And let's see in the past 5 years, where can it tell us? You can see we are right now at the bottom. Every time that the market goes up, you can see these people coming and searching for crypto. That's where when they are very, very late. Now, this doesn't mean that you should go buy everything that is there. This also doesn't mean that what I say is true. It's what we analyze and see how much can this be actually true if we are about to head the bull market. So we are already invested enough, and I personally have 4x'd my portfolio in the past 2 years. So for me, if anything happens, it doesn't matter. But for you as a beginner, first of all, what I recommend is to learn. But if you want to follow my trades, you can do that. But that's the least I recommend you as a beginner to do. But if you have already experienced trading and buying these cryptos, then I welcome you. You can come and see those, which is still not a financial advice. So let me show you the liquidation areas where a lot of people are already out of the market, and if we can truly expect the alt season to start triggering from now on. So this is BTC. You can see that there's still a lot of liquidation. People are still taking leverage. So $98,000. And this chart, which I have showed you, it could still get triggered because that's where they have all their stop losses. So where there is their stop losses, there is our entry. So be very, very careful what you're trading. And if you now, I can't tell you exactly what to do. Your risk appetite is different, your capital is different than mine, and your mindset is different than mine. So everything is different than what I do. So I definitely doesn't exactly tell you what to do. But I am just showing you my opinion of what could possibly happen. Now, another, if we still want to try to go to 107,000, if this is not reclaimed, we can see the last dump here. Then if this is reclaimed, we should actually go back to the all-time highs. So this is the reason that I keep the track of these liquidations, because although a lot of these people have been liquidated and they keep getting liquidated because they're doing futures and they don't actually make money, but that's what they're selling. There are very few people that they do, but even if you want to become one of those, you will have to spend a lot of time in the chart as well as learn so much and have a lot of experience, but at the same time you will become a gambler because you actually don't have the intention to hold that coin. You short the market, which is unethical, and from Islamic perspective, that is actually haram to do. Okay, so there are other many reasons for that too, like the funding fee, which the majority of ulama say that it's interest given from traders to traders. So be very, very careful and avoid that, because the majority, like 90-95% of all those people, they see the gains, they have less capital, they fall into that trap of the gurus that they try to sell you the uh, what is it? Let me see here. Actually, my screen is very big, so let me make that smaller so you guys can see this chart. Now you can. So, and the coin glass one, more than below, we have liquidation sitting above 105,000, which is this level. So once these people are out, it can shoot to 107,000. Then they will put their stop losses here. They will again try to short the market. But if my thesis is correct and Dixie is going to fall down, which it should, and inshallah it will, all of them will get wrecked again, shorting the market. And that's what will put Bitcoin back to the uptrend, and we can call it back a short-term bull market until the top is broken. And when the top of Bitcoin is going to be broken, by that time Ethereum's top will also be broken, and then we can expect an alt season. Then we can track that too. So this is another chart to look at. Although this trend line is broken, which I gave you the bear case, you can see that this line of support is also holding. And once we are above 1 trillion, we can expect the altcoins to run, inshallah. One last indicator is gold, which you can see that it made a double top, and the previous time that it did, it gave us a good rally in Bitcoin. Now we can expect the same thing, that because it keeps happening again and again. You can see that every time gold is underperforming Bitcoin, we get a very good Bitcoin rally. So that's what I'm still expecting, that gold will not perform very well after this. It will be Bitcoin that is going to be performing. But again, I keep giving you warnings so you are prepared for what is going to happen. But you should also be prepared for the bull market as well as the bear market. So we see the probabilities now. The probability for short term is still that the market should go up at least to 107,000. Then we can decide and see what is going to do. So that is the summary of it. Now, the last thing, like the last thing is USD dominance. So you can see we're still in this downtrend. Now, this level of supply. The price really touched 5.5 to almost 6%. Not really 6%. That's why we are expecting it to come down. But to truly put Bitcoin back to the bull, this level needs to be broken. So we can expect this to come back down at least to this red line or to this level of demand. Then once this is broken into something like this, then we can expect the market to really go and rally. Otherwise, this can happen and it will get everybody wrecked, and we will go back to the bear market. So I think I'm almost done with the today's analysis. Now it's really, really up to you how you want to trade these. Inshallah, If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll go and end this analysis for today. We talked about a lot of good things. Now,
Alaikum.
alaikum salam. Yes, brother.
Yeah, please, I missed your last point, your last point.
What was I saying? Hello?
Yeah, I missed your last
What was
two
I
about
talking about so I
being
can
in the bearish
tell you
market.
again?
Yeah, you mentioned about we'll still be in the bearish market. So I didn't get the point there.
So basically, let me give you again a summary that because
Okay.
of these metrics that I showed you, gold and especially DXY, we can still expect a bull market, but in order for alt season to be triggered, Bitcoin needs to go above, like really reclaim 107,000 and below the top, which is 126,000, and Ethereum should break $5,000 level, then we can expect an alt season. Otherwise, we can expect a short-term rally. And I also gave you these near resistances that if we get rejected from these levels, there is another potential dump that is going to come, which that might trigger the bear market if we go below these levels. There's two like scenarios here. One is uh, if the 107,000 is not fully reclaimed, it will take us back to 95, 94, like this entire zone, which is extended up to 92,000. This is like the last hope that we have for the market to come back. That's why we keep trading these levels to make some money until it really goes bullish. Then we go really hard against the market. Otherwise, we don't. And we stay out of like going really, really crazy. So we monitor things very closely. And I talked about the USDT dominance that it could come to 5%. Once we go below it, then it could retest 5% after falling below. Then we can expect a very good rally. And the reason for that is that it's still in the downtrend. So it will get invalidated once we go back above 5.6% something, then we can expect a bear market. And for Dixie, for US dollar, it should go above this level of 100, then we can expect that. So you see, we are in a very, very critical situation at this point. And what I'm hoping to happen is that US government will start printing money because just shut down the entire government since like 40 days or something, and it's the longest in history. Now, in order to run things up, they will need money, right? So the reason they stopped was because they went bankrupt or something and they had to refine some things. Now they will need money, and when they spend, this is the reason you can see that it has already started reacting as US dollar, and we should see it coming back and falling down. Yes, brother Nasim, I checked liquidation levels. You did join late. It's fine. You can rewatch the whole thing. I have it in recording. And we still have 8 minutes, so I can tell you. So on CoinAnk, it shows more liquidation to the downside, but on CoinGlass, it shows more liquidation to the upside. Let me see. So in this one, in 3 days. Let me see weekly for you. Yeah, so you can see this that in CoinAnk, it also shows in weekly that we are close to these liquidations. So 98,000 might not just happen, at least for now. That's why I have given you guys the signals in the altcoins. Uh, so yeah, so far everything's good. And if something happens, we monitor it every single day these days because it's very important and we are in a very, very critical situation. Alt season, if it's going to happen, it should happen on December, right? Maybe after the first 1 or 2 weeks of December. And it might end by the first 2, 3 weeks of January. So this is what I think at the moment. So things can change anytime. Nobody's perfect. I'm not claiming that I know everything. So I also make mistakes. So don't take anything from me exactly as I say. Do your own research. Brother, can we check MMT? What is that coin, by the way? Is it MetaMask token? Is there a MetaMask token? Let me see. So, bro, first of all, I always come and check if a coin is Sharia compliant, then I will give you my opinion. Otherwise, I don't. So, don't mind if it's not. MMT, let this website load properly. So, if you guys have more questions, we still have 6 minutes to end the meeting. Yesterday, I lost the track of it and it just got closed on me. It happens sometimes. MMT. Bro, this is not here. I don't know what is this coin. So I cannot really tell. Let me see here for you on momentum. Is this what you're saying? Interesting. I would have to do a little bit of research on this, but let me still show you the chart. It might be Sharia compliant and it might not be Sharia compliant. I don't know. It is looking like it's new. So you can see clearly that you have two levels. If you want to get into this coin, be sure to trade it where it is in a good level. Now, two things. You can either wait for the breakout to enter here, then you can ride it up until 2.6 after the break of 0.7. Otherwise, you can wait for it to come back down to the support, making a double bottom. Then you can expect it to go up from exact this place. So I hope I made it clear. Otherwise, because we try always to minimize the risk and increase our profitability, that's our mission. So if not, then you can see if this level is broken, it could really go down. Now it's somewhere in between. It is on a support level in lower time frame, but you need to really track that and be in the chart in order to know. So this is my view on it. Not any personal opinion to hold it or do whatever. I don't know what is going to happen with that coin. Okay, so congratulations. By the time that we're speaking, Ethereum just broke this level. So let's see if it's going to hold and Tonight's candle close will determine that. I really expected this to happen even yesterday. I was talking with one of the masters of our community. Then I said, if you want to get in on Ethereum and if you have missed here, you can enter at, it was at the price of 3,380 something. So you can see it has broken this level. Now it's good. We can expect 3,700 uh, to $4,000. Let's see. Another thing that I said, which was exactly, I always like, it depends on what the current situation of the market is on Saturday. So on Saturday it was down. On Sunday, right before Monday and everything else opens, crypto do try to reclaim a level and try to run. So I told them by the time you wake up, she's in US. So by the time you wake up, it will be breaking this. And in order for us to go up, this weekly should close above 3,500. So it now makes sense a lot that it was true probability, alhamdulillah. So, any more questions? 2 minutes left before I end today's meeting. How's your portfolio holding up? Bro, alhamdulillah, everything is in profit. Do you think I let it go down? Just kidding. I don't want to like say too much because whenever I do, something happens to them. So I want to stay neutral. So Allah knows better what is going to happen in the future, but so far things are going well. Alhamdulillah. So you can already see by just by looking at these ones and what I have talked today. You can replay the whole video inshallah once I upload it on YouTube. So take care, everybody. Thank you all for joining. Inshallah, I will see you guys in the upcoming webinars. If you want to be a part of it, join our community. I will be sharing the links with you guys there. And if you want to become a professional trader and investor inside cryptocurrency markets, and if you want the discount, join before 10th of November because the current price are very, very cheap. And I'll see you guys inshallah next time. Have a good day.